Hello, viewers. I'm SB,
And I'm Amabel.
and welcome back to Pentiment, where, if I'm honest, I'm still a little off balance here from the sudden change of protagonist. But I'm going to get used to it, probably, or the game will end. One of those two things will happen eventually. Uh,
I'm
so,
I, I'm actually used to it. I'm more used to it.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
Just
right now, we are mostly focused on two things, right? We have two sort of avenues of concern. I guess three. I was going to say our two avenues of concern are there's something going on with the history of Tassing. It seems like information is scarce, perhaps very intentionally. And so we're trying to figure that out. And then there's the problem of now we got to paint this mural. But I guess I forgot also someone tried to kill my dad. We should probably.
probably look into that in this murder mystery game.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a murder yet, so it doesn't feel appropriate to investigate it.
That's
There,
that's fair.
there will come a time when it will have been a murder, and at that time, Andreas Mahler shall rise from his grave, and we shall do the thing that needs doing. Until then,
Yeah.
what time? Where are we? It's work hours. I'm not going to bed. It's the 6th hour. I know what's
And I
happening. I remember
and
the
I
end of the
guess
episode.
and I guess we need to find out what the whole thread puller situation is. Which
Well, see, you and I do. Unfortunately, Magdalene knows nothing of it. and
ah
and there's nobody around to tell her because the only person who knew is dead. Were we supposed to have figured something about that out by the end of by the end of Act Two? I mean, you and I
I
figured.
don't
I feel like
yeah.
we figured it out, but Andreas
We
certainly
figured it
didn't.
out, yeah. I'm assuming maybe we'll figure it out this act. Like
I was just
she'll discover and then figure it out because if the whole thing of like the history of Tassing, that feels relevant
sure. I'm really
because
curious how it'll connect though, because like
yeah.
even Casper didn't really know, right? I don't think we talked about.
Yeah.
Brigitte, can we talk to you? Magdalene, how are you keeping? Uh, I wanna sound. This is the answer that sounds more like I'm upset about my dad. So
Yeah.
fine enough,
God, I
given the
love those
circumstances.
chickens. Sorry, that's very rude of me, but I just look at them.
Okay.
Look at those chickens, they're so good.
I like the chick.
Oh no, the fall they are so good, sweetheart.
All right. Are you getting enough rest? I know how hard it is to manage a house alone, and you have the shop and mural to worry about too. I remember Clara wishing she had a distraction. You might see about her helping you and your father through this difficult season. Yeah, okay, maybe. How is Klaus, by the way? Any improvement? Hmm. Do we? I guess we don't really even have the option. I was gonna say, do we want to keep the information that he is definitely going to die of this wound under wraps? But we don't actually really have the ability to tell her
You
that.
know.
Um,
I do you have a preference with these choices?
I think it would be super weird to say the second thing, considering she's the first person we've spoken to since it happened. So I'm
Uh,
thinking the top one.
well, okay.
It is
Yeah.
like it is technically true. She is one of the only people who's done that, but
I
also
mean,
she's like the only person who's had the opportunity.
but like weeks and like maybe months have passed. Remember, there was that big time jump, like after he got conked on the head. So I'm assuming she's talked to other people who haven't seen it.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm the protagonist here. If it didn't happen to me, it didn't happen.
All right, that's fair.
Just like in real life. I kind of like this. I kind of like,
Okay.
I feel like this is going to make her feel closer because like this is like an expression of the spiraling dread, right? She will feel like we're talking to her in confidence. And we kind of need the Bowers to be on our side if we're going to figure out what happened to that book. This is perhaps a very manipulative way of approaching the answer. I
Okay.
thought I had everything under control. But it's too hard now to keep the house up to my standards. Oh, Magdalene, you are a true credit to your mother. The house can wait. Some of the women will come to help you. Please, focus on your dad. And then we're just shunted back to here. Were you going to recommend that we say the second one?
A little bit.
Okay. You're one of the only people who have asked how I'm doing before asking about my dad. I'm a little worried she's going to take offense.
Maybe.
I know how it is to be the sole caregiver. Yourself disappears behind the needs of the person you're looking after.
Oh.
I worry about you carrying that weight alone. I remember when my dad fell. And we cared for him best we could, but those few months before he passed were a tough time for everyone. But I believe God will pull your dad through, whatever the doctor says. We need him. How outwardly expressively Christian are we playing this Magdalene?
That's a good question.
Right, because we were definitely putting on we were taking pains to put on the performance of it with Andreas, although it didn't seem like his belief was particularly strong. Do we feel like Magdalene has more of a connection to sort of like the older history of this place? Like the ill Peter kind of vibe? Or because like she would have grown up into a period of particular distaste for the Abbey, and maybe I'm projecting.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm projecting a little bit here, but
No,
I wonder if that doesn't leave one with a sort of a distrust of organized religion.
So, I mean, she's a literate, well-read printer's daughter who's worked in a print shop, who has encountered ideas, who lives in a place where there is like ill Peter and like ties to like pagan traditions. So I feel like she probably is distrustful of the church, whether or not she thinks Bridget is. How
Yeah.
Bridget. I think she's like, I don't know. I got the impression that Andreas thought he was smarter than he was. I feel like
For
Madeline
sure.
is smart. I feel like Madeline is smart and can be subtle. So I'm fine with either of these choices, really. Both feel in character for her as far as her interacting with this person who is sympathetic to her.
Yeah. Here's what I want to do. I want to take that. I want to like draw forth the thing that causes her to be prickly. The thing that makes her good at the barbs is this like discontent with the place she's sort of forced into, right, by the accident of her birth. And I think that it would be difficult for her to bottle that anger in the same way that Andreas did.
Okay, that makes
Right,
sense
where
to
where
me.
we often pretended to be pious. I think she has a harder time swallowing it, and she tends to be more neutral, not necessarily speaking out against the organized religion because she does want to like live, but taking the opportunity to not say God willing when,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'll do if he dies. I feel crazy even thinking about it. Well, should the worst come to pass, you will not be alone, Magdalene. Believe me. It may feel like you are, but... Have you thought about what you'll do if your dad doesn't come through this? This is if we're playing her as being fairly pragmatic, this is
Yeah.
certainly something that's gone through her mind. Is it a matter of like are we in this place though? Are we just like I can't even engage with it? It is true that Dad. You know what? I like this one because it keeps the conversation centered. Like we're still following the thread of being primarily concerned at this point with like the relationship to the family.
Okay.
Her father absolutely would want her to keep up the printing press. Wouldn't that be a sight? Are you sure you could handle it? It's a lot to manage on your own. But you're a good girl, Magda. There are any number of families in Tassing who'd be happy to take you. You have someone in mind, don't you? Uh,
I Ah.
do we have to bristle? I kind of feel like we have to bristle a little bit.
Yeah.
I know that that's not what we were trying to do here, but
I was either gonna say the first or the second one, and
Alright.
because they're both.
I literally can't imagine who you'd be alluding to. There's not a single young man of quality in this town. Not even young Otts? He's about as subtle as his father, God rest Otto's soul. I miss him. So we don't like Otts. We very much don't like Otts. But I think this is a case where like she's no longer pressing me specifically. I feel like we can just follow her into changing the subject. I wish I'd got to meet him properly. I mean, he made an impression. That's for certain. The girls around town knew better than to moon after him, though that didn't stop some of us. He was Ava's from the start. As Otts appears to be yours. This is a kind of like a terrifying aspect of living in a small town, right? The way that like the community comes to some kind of consensus on these things, and then like even if they're not actively pushing, just like the weight of that expectation, and you must become aware of it pretty early, I would imagine. Like the weight of that expectation. We all know. We are all familiar with the pressure of compet. But like to have it targeted in this way, to have the people around you have already decided on your behalf, I could see how it could make a person flee a place, is all I'm saying.
Oh yeah. No, it's real gross and I don't like it.
Something grooming, something. Anyway. But if nothing ever comes of that, know that you're always welcome in my family, Magda. Croft's a nice, hard-working boy. He's got a sharp mind. He can provide for a family. Which one is Croft again? Oh, right. Okay, yep. Do you think she would take offense? She might agree, right? Given the way she seems to think we belong with Otts.
I kind of like the first answer because it feels like it's less of a...
It's safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Are you trying to set me up with your son? Can you blame a mother for trying? You're a good, respectable girl, Magda. Any family would be lucky to have as a daughter. That's okay. Either the punctuation's wrong or a word's missing. I guess I'll consider it.
Yeah,
This is the brush off, but it's it's the politest version of the brush off.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is the second extremely uncomfortable conversation during the course of this game we've had with this particular person. And the last one did not turn out well, so I'm like really anxious.
We know she is like on edge a lot, and I'm really bad with her. She and I just don't mesh. I guess I'll consider it. Thank you, sweet girl. Not every marriage starts off on solid footing, but if you pray and work and trust in the Lord, you can find it in time.
God, that's bleak.
Believe me. Well, you're not making the prospect sound very enticing. This is tough. I want to change the subject so badly, and Magdalene just won't.
The first one.
You want to ask the first one?
Yeah.
If it's not working out, how can you be sure a couple belongs together? God knows. He brings people together for a purpose. We don't need to understand it, only to have faith in Providence. Yeah, this is very much like the sort of like the formation of the community expectation around
Mm-hmm.
a couple like this must be a lot like a Ouija board, right? Where everybody feels like they're not actually taking agency, but gosh, it just happened and we were all part of it somehow. And then to like take that thing that the lot of you did together and push it off on God. It was God's decision. What could we possibly have done? Oof. This religion, y'all.
Yeah.
In any case, I should get back to the chores. Remember what I said. Whatever happens, you're always welcome in my home. That's great. I would love to go in there and snoop around right now if you don't mind. She wouldn't have any reason to conceal the book from us, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I think we can just ask.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Also, I think this is a dead end because Martin almost certainly doesn't have the book because he's not Martin.
Well, but it's not like Martin stole the book and then grafted it to his spine or something. Like he stole it. He stole it, and then he would have.
He stole it.
Well, if he did steal it, though, he would have put it somewhere. Like it's reasonable to think it might be in the house.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me. Before I forget, I actually had a question about an old book. Martin is supposed to have stolen it. Oh, come on. This wasn't in the text I chose. Magdalene, play along. Martin is supposed to have stolen it from that baron who was killed years ago.
This is the part where she just gets really pissed at us and just everything goes to ruin.
Do you know what happened to it? Oh. I hope this doesn't get me into any trouble, but I still have it hidden in a drawer. Yeah, like where else would he have put it, right? It's not going to take it on the road with him. He doesn't know how to sell something like that, and it would be heavy. And when he ran away, he was like 13 or 14 or something, right?
Maybe. I still don't know how old he was.
That's fair. I am now remembering that we could not figure this out earlier. Martin left it behind when he ran off. Why'd you keep it? Seems like a strange question. So he went to all the trouble to take it, but didn't bring it along? I mean, it makes sense to me. Martin was a thief, but he wasn't stupid. I'm sure he realized no one would believe he'd come by the book honestly, so he couldn't sell it. That's actually a very good point. Maybe Martin's smarter than I am. So why'd you keep it? What was I supposed to do? The Baron was killed soon after, and there I was holding his stolen book. Yeah, see, this is why I think it's kind of a weird question, because, like, for real, what else could she do? I didn't want Martin to get in any more trouble than he was already in. I never read it, though. I don't read well. Can I have it, then? I don't know. Does she care enough about the mural? Yeah, I don't particularly want to lie to her. And I don't know that this makes sense as a motivation.
It doesn't. No, I go with the second one.
Yeah, I need to reference it for the mural. But won't everyone wonder where you got the ideas? I've been talking to people all over town. They'll think I get the ideas from them. Brigitte, please, come on. Oh, all right. I'd like to have nothing more to do with it, to be frank. It reminds me of difficult times. A stolen book of a dead nobleman in our home. Perhaps it's spoiled our milk and turned our eggs all these years. Here you are. Please, don't tell anyone I had this. Ah, Historia Tessiae. Okay. It's in Latin, which I don't read well. I'll puzzle over it in the evening. Thank you, Brigitte. You've been a big help. Of course, Magda. Be well now. God bless. You too, Vegeta. Notice? Just saying you too, not also saying God bless.
Yeah.
We have the read. Hey, quote unquote, Martin, what's up? Morning, Magdalene. How's Klaus? Oh, he looks rough. Enduring. Even when his speech is slurred, he keeps a cheerful heart. I don't know what life would be like without him. Klaus is a good man, Magdalene. Tassing is a better place thanks to him. He's one of the few in Tassing who hasn't been on my back all this time. What do you mean? Oh, don't pretend like you haven't heard. Townsfolk have whispered shit about me for years. So what if I occasionally get into a few brawls? I'm an honest man. I wasn't involved with what happened to Otto Zimmerman. I supported his cause. I've pulled my weight around here, tilled the soil, salted the meats, provided for Vegeta and Kraft. I've done enough backbreaking work for this family. Can't a man just have a goddamned rest? I kind of want to do the third one, you think?
Yeah.
Like, he seems fine. Maybe he's a guy who killed a person in a fight at some point in the distant past. I don't know that necessarily has a huge amount of bearing here. I believe you, Martin. You seem like you could use a respite. Damn right. Right, I've lost enough time to this as it is. Time for you to go. Wow, that was not a conversation. All right. Martin's got a lot of backbreaking labor to perform, though. So did they just never do anything with this building? Yeah, just locked, empty house. Because it belongs to the Bowers, right?
Yeah.
At this point?
I believe so.
I'm assuming Ottilia's dead.
Oh, I would assume so.
But we don't we haven't heard anything.
I would have assumed Del Peter was dead.
Same. That dude was born looking 80. All right, Hetty. Hello, Magdalene. How's the mural coming? I hear you browbeat the council into letting you do it yourself. I
like that one.
Yeah, I do too. They didn't have a chance against me once I'd set my mind to it. That's the spirit. It's good to see you standing strong against those stubborn bastards. God may have made man from dust, but I swear he left some of them with rocks for brains too. Did you know Jorg was by to check on my hinges? I've had about enough of their silly projects. That Zimmerman boy seems to have a good head on his shoulders, though. Once you're settled down with him, you'll have a good life ahead of you.
Oh.
Yeah. My gorge rises every single time. It's hard to think of the future right now with what's happened to my dad. Oh, sweet girl, I'm sorry. My mouth goes faster than my head sometimes, or so my Johann used to say. Your dad's only ever been a fair-weather friend to people like me, but... Wow, okay. He's a family man at heart. I can respect that. I hope he knows how lucky he is to have you looking after him. I don't think there's any reason... I'm like trying to measure out in my head how much prickliness is appropriate for every situation now. I don't know that there's... The thing she just said about our dad, I think is an annoyance for sure, right? But I don't know that it's... Do you think that makes us just bail on the conversation? Or do we try to... Okay, you don't think this is like a mend fences on his behalf thing?
I mean...
After the way she just shit-talked him?
I mean, I can see the argument for that. Well, it's the more interesting option to the top one. Let's do that.
Also, to be fair, it is true. We know that what happened the night the Abbey burned was not the way he wanted things to go. He regrets it, you know. What happened the night the Abbey burned? I'm sure he does. He could have made a real difference for us. Stuck his neck out, but he was scared. We all wish things could have turned out different, but that's life. And then aha for some reason. Anyway, give my best wishes to your father and take care of yourself. Okay, well that sucks, but I guess it gives us a sense of how at least some people in the town feel about what happened. Simon? Hey, Magdalene. I heard what happened to your dad. How's he doing? Resting. He suffered a severe blow to the head. I'm worried, to say the least. Hans sends his regards. The Bauer household is praying for a swift recovery. Thank you, and thank Hans and Jutta as well. I will. Klaus has always been such a bedrock of Tassing. I'd hate for him to die. It'd be, sorry. I've decided he's immortal. It's fine. I fear it as well. It's best not to ignore one's fears. Do you miss your father? Your real one, I mean. Do I miss him? Kind of. I don't remember Joseph all that much. He's become a haze of sorts, a faint echo, a feeling, an occasional emotion. I was so young when he got killed. Mom said I had trouble understanding what had happened for a long time.
I like that one.
Yeah, and at this point, it's like long enough ago that the edges of it wouldn't be raw anymore. So I guess it's not like.
Yeah.
I understand. My mom, she's like an empty hole in my life. I have nothing of her. Yeah, you never even got to see her, right? Not even a memory. Huh. Well, suppose you have yourself for comparison. God molded you after her. I can imagine how she could have been like. Stubborn and unruly, yeah? She knows. She definitely knows.
Yeah.
I don't see people of power and wealth and power giving the rest of us much headway. This seems almost like a non sequitur. What is this?
It does. I have no idea where that's coming from.
I wonder if this is a line that's supposed to appear in a different context. If we've just discovered a bug, so I guess let's say the top one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess stubborn and unruly. If being stubborn and unruly is what it takes, otherwise, how are we going to make any headway? But it's very strangely like.
Yeah, it feels odd.
Especially since being stubborn and unruly is not necessarily a way to get people of power, wealth, and power to give you anything. But can I know if I'm actually like my mom? All I have are stories from people. Well, you read books, don't you? Stories are about things that are true. Books and stories are about a lot of things. Oh, well, I can't read anyway. Would you want to learn? I don't have the time. Work on the farm never ends, especially with the taxes eating at us. Anyway, the winter draws closer, so I got a lot of preparations to take care of. I truly hope Klaus recovers soon. God look after you both. Until later, Simon. Well, I do feel bad for Simon. Just gonna hop this fence real quick. Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Hans. I hope your dad recovers quickly. He's a good man. Thank you. I'll tell him you said that. Good. This town has seen too many terrible things, but we've recovered before. Maybe the Lord will return your dad to health too. Does this feel too much like sort of pushing the Christianity aside, like sort of taking a swing at it? Do we feel...
I don't know. I don't have strong feelings about either of these options.
All right, I'm going to say the top one because I think this is where I'm bristling at God in particular. Well, whether the Lord intervenes or not, I'll care for him the same. You're a credit to your mother, Magdalene. Klaus is a lucky father. Be glad you have this time with him. Be glad you have this time with him, I say. Wish I'd had as much with Hedwig. Anyway, I should get back to it. Until later, Hans. Yeah, so we're just like a walking reminder of everything everyone has lost, it seems like, at this moment.
Love that for us.
Yeah. Hey, ill Peter. Hello, Peter. Can I talk to you for a moment? What's that? Do we yell at him? How hard of hearing is he? Because if he's not that hard of hearing, or if he's sensitive about it, this is just going to piss him off.
Yeah, I go with the top one.
Right. I was wondering if you could tell me some of the stories about Tassing. Oh, the old tales, It's been so damn long since anyone had a thought to ask me about what I know. But there's still a few of the old tales knocking about in this skull. Are there any myths from even before the Romans came to Tassing? Gotta start somewhere. Well, of course there are. The Romans weren't the first ones to live here, you know. There are spirits older than the saints that live in these woods, older than the Romans. They protected Tassing before St. Moritz ever set a blessed foot in town. I'm choosing that tone was definitely an editorialization on my part.
It fits, though. It absolutely fits with him.
What do we think she knows about spirits? Because we definitely do spend a lot of time like appeasing the spirits.
Mm.
And those are the rituals that tend to hang around, right? It's like you do this or else.
Yeah.
I kind of like approaching it this way.
Okay.
I thought spirits only caused trouble. Spoiling milk, making livestock sick, things like that. Well, some do, yes, but who do you think beats the spirits? Okay. But who do you think beats the spirits off? Us? What can farmers do against spirits, eh?
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to stick to the text, you know.
I'm 5 years old. I'm sorry.
It's Perchta and her wild hunt that scare them evil ones away. They've protected Tassing since its founding day. Long before those Romans, our ancestors roamed these mountains under a great chieftain called Aretus. Now, folk weren't as kind as they are now, and the tribes fought one another for the best land. The old chieftain was a yellow-bellied coward who neglected the old gods. He was too proud to make offerings. Because of him, the gods favored other tribes, and Aretus's people had no land to call their own. Instead, they wandered through these mountains and valleys, hunting and gathering what they could to survive. That was only halfway acting. One day, when winter was approaching, Aretus went hunting and found a wounded wolf tangled in a trap. But instead of killing the beast, as most men would, he helped the beast and loosed it from its bounds. It does feel like we're smart enough to follow the trail of the narrative, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So was the wolf a spirit in disguise? Ha, of course not. Wolves are wolves, girl. Spirits don't need the skins of animals for their power. Still, you've got the sense of the thing. The old gods are keen to repay favors done, and Perchta is the goddess of the wild hunt. The wolves are her animals. She leads the wild hunt, and the wolves lead the hunts of the forest. Back in my day, folk knew it was bad luck to kill a wolf. Now I'm the only one who remembers these things. Perchta saw Ritus' action and took favor on him, and told the wolf to lead the chief to her sacred spring. Ritus led his people to the spring and claimed it for his homeland, and we've been in this valley ever since. Then those goddamned Romans came and destroyed everything. But you see, there were other gods protecting this place before St. Moritz. That's why a few of us still honor Perchta. She protects us against witches and fiends. We're definitely not saying that one. You know, it's a wonderful story. Perfect for the first part of the mural. Good, good. Nice to know I can still be of some use in this town. What about the Romans? Do you know any Roman legends of Tassing? Roman legends? I don't bother with stories from outsiders or tales of gods that aren't our own. The Romans did nothing but conquer our people and destroy this town. And we spent generation after generation building Tassing back up from those days. And still our traditions keep dying with no one to carry them on. I'm asking about them right now. No, I think I want to press the importance of permanentizing these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why I want to know, Peter. These stories need to be on the mural. The mural, hmm? Fine. But I don't know any of the old Roman shit. All right. I have a lot to think about. Thank you for sharing your stories with me, Peter. At least someone wants to listen to me. I'm tired. Talking so much has made my jaw ache. Well, I'll leave you to rest then. God bless you, Peter. Why would you say that to Peter, of all people? But that's good. That's something. That's real workable information. Ah, Magdalene. How are the hinges on your doors? Fine, I guess. Maybe Endris should take a look at them. I would have asked your father, but, well. Anyway, you wouldn't believe how many people in this town leave their hinges to rust. This feels like a way over reaction, right?
Yeah, I feel like I like her bristling, but like we like Big York, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I said, I feel like the barbs are an extension of the dissatisfaction with the unfairness of her position. So it's not something that's on the surface all the time. It's something that like people poke at it and she lashes back.
Yeah.
So,
I think the middle one is kind of funny.
I didn't realize you had such an interest in hinges. Oh, it's not my interest in particular. Paul would like to institute a yearly check of all the homes in Tassing. This might be a better way to bring up the concern.
Yeah.
It does seem a bit nosy to me. Why not just let folks take care of themselves? That's my thinking too. I don't see why we need to make this whole thing official. Everyone in Tassing helps each other. As I see it, if someone notices a house in disrepair, we all pitch in to fix it. To do anything else would be unchristian. It's interesting that Christian in that didn't have a capital C. But if Paul wants to see it through, I'm happy to go along with it. Makes me feel useful, you know? Well, speaking of, I better get back to work. Nice chat with you, Magda. So what's up with Peter? What's Peter's whole fucking deal? We're coming in here to talk to Clara, but... Hello, Magdalene. How's the mural going? I hope my husband hasn't been bothering you about it too much. Is that a concern? Ha! The council likes to meddle in things they ought to leave alone. My husband, less so than some, but those men are all bad influences on each other. Now they're chattering on about a yearly check of the hinges on every door in town. Hinges? Who gives a damn if the hinges on our front door creak? Council are just old men looking to feel important. We have enough to do as it is. If God wanted them to feel important, he would have made them lords. That's pretty harsh. Anyway, I think it's good of you to be working on the mural. I wish Artemis and Apollo would take interest in something like that. Speaking of, have you seen them around anywhere? I asked them to look after the chickens, but they've disappeared. I haven't seen them recently, but they like to mess around in the forest. Maybe they wandered off there. This town isn't that big. I don't know where they get to that I can't find them. Father Thomas says they're only so much trouble because I named them after Greek gods. He says those names have power, but I still like them. Besides, Apollo and Artemis were gods of virtues. If anything, they should be more well-behaved. Probably not.
Maybe the middle one.
So yeah, the middle one's like expressing a belief in the headstrongness of these twins. The bottom one feels very strange.
Yeah.
It feels like really like trying to pull the conversation off in a much more philosophical direction. Oh, I don't think anything will stop the twins from going their own way in life. You're right. Father Thomas spends too much time in his books. Anyway, I'd better go find those rascals. Good luck on the mural, Magdalene. Thanks, Veronica. Until later. Hey, Clara. Hello, Magdalene, dear. How are you? How's Klaus? These are really the same idea.
The second one, I think, opens it up more to asking her to help. Like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Neither of us is doing well. I'm having trouble coping with the stress. Dad's been hard to understand recently. Oh, God. I'll keep praying for you both. The both of you deserve the best. Life's been hard enough for you already. Please, let me know if you need any help around the house. I'd be happy to. Yeah, I like the bottom one here.
Okay.
It's the most complimentary. It's the one that like draws the most importance to her. Could you teach me the wonderful way you prepare pots? Ava showed me once, but I've never been able to do it. Ah, yes, that old trick. The secret is to use a thick coating of lard so nothing sticks to the metal. I'll come by and show you. Besides, then we can chat, and chatter makes chores pass quickly. With all my children up and grown and no husband to care for anymore, I've got to make myself useful somehow. This is maybe sticking my nose in where it don't belong?
Yeah.
Well, Big Jorg is still in the house, though, isn't he? Oh, yes. But he's a grown man with children of his own. He and Veronica are capable of caring for their own household now. Ava is taking care of Otts, and Ursula and Fabian have their own life together.
Look at Ursula's face. She's gonna murder somebody.
This is a face that has already murdered somebody. She's like watching around every corner for the heat. She's ready to bail on this town in 2 minutes flat if she senses it around the corner. They don't need me anymore. Which of neither one of these are as caring as I would like. I guess I'll try to like reframe it as a good thing. I don't want to not take her feelings about it seriously, but this is But isn't that a good thing? Well, heavens, yes. I thank God that my children are all grown and prospering. After so many years of tending to them and maintaining a home, I don't know what else to do. Like I do want to encourage her to take it easy.
Yeah.
Actually, does Magdalene take it easy?
No.
Maybe
No,
she
she
doesn't.
doesn't.
Maybe she doesn't really think this way. I think I like this top one then for like that development of the character. No, I understand. I wouldn't know what to do if I couldn't keep working in the printing press. You are a driven one, Magdalene. The Lord has given you a gift. Never let anyone take that from you, even though you're young. You'll make a good life for yourself that way. I won't, I promise. Good. Anyway, I'll come by later, all right? I'll see you then, Clara. God bless you, Magdalena. Okay. There shouldn't be anyone or anything going on in the bedroom, but I may as well go up here since we're allowed to. All right, I feel like we're getting a good. I'm starting to feel a little bit more settled in Magdalene's shoes here.
Yeah.
We're getting a better view of sort of the vibe of the town now. Endris, I miss Endris. Hello, Magdalene. How's Klaus? Resi and I are very worried. I wish I had a sense of how close we are to Endris. I guess that's a decision we're making now.
Yeah.
He's so like old and friendly, and he's right in the center of town. I am deciding we are close.
Okay.
Not well, Endris. May God look after you both. We've had enough tragedy in this town. Has Gertrude been by to see him? I'd trust her over that doctor. He's not reliable. It's interesting that this is the feeling about Dr. Stoltz at this point.
Yeah.
I'll say, I do like the bottom one, I think.
Okay.
He's all dead and I have. I don't know what to do, Endris. Oh, Magdalene, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't gossip. If there's anything Resi and I can do for you, let us know. I will. Thank you for your kindness, Endris. It's nothing. I owe your father more than I can say. Take care, Magdalene. So opinions are somewhat divided about old Dad.
Yeah.
Can we figure out what's up with Wojslav now? No. Still not allowed to talk to him. Okay, Matilda was Matilda one of the nuns?
Matilda was one of the nuns.
I'm trying to remember. Wojslav was up to something. Was it him and Matilda were fucking? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay. So we can make at least that much sense of this. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Matilda. Hello, Wojslav. How are you two? Very well. The Lord has blessed us more than we deserve. And how are you, Magdalene? I was worried with you keeping the house and the workshop all on your own. Let me bring by some soup for you and your father. Yeah. One of the top two. I want that soup.
Top one. Top
right.
one. Put the top one.
You're very kind, Matilda. Thank you. Not at all, Magdalene. This is how Wojslav and I serve Tassing. Our vocation may have changed, but our gratitude to God and the town has not. It's hard to imagine you two ever lived in the Abbey. Ha! Sometimes those days feel like another lifetime. A harder time, to be sure. The Poor Clares are an order of contemplative nuns founded by Saints Clare and Francis of Assisi. As the name suggests, the Poor Clares are devoted to extreme poverty. They subsist purely on the donation of alms. I kind of want to hear... I don't want to bum anybody out, but I kind of want to hear Voislav respond to this.
Yeah.
I thought the abbey was better off than the town in those years. Well, so we were told, but in private I believe Father Gernot struggled to provide for a scriptorium and a double monastery. It didn't help that Guy was skimming off the top. However, seeing both the town and Kearsau struggle was only a part of what made that time hard. A nun's life can be a challenging one, but I never had to deal with the difficulties you do now, Magdalene. Well, what about your old life was difficult for you? Just trying to think about how to express this. I struggled with my vows, my discipline. I couldn't live as my sisters did. I broke my vows, as did Voislav.
Yeah, you did.
This is just mean.
He's right there. Yeah, no, come on.
Also, as far as I know, we like him.
Yeah.
You fell in love. We did. Well, I seduced her. You certainly did not.
Oh, I like this.
Are you telling young Magda here that you seduced me, then? Voislav, please. So, you left the abbey. Well, we were found out, but our secret was kept. Still, the matter ate at my heart. Well, that and being falsely accused of murdering the old baron terrified you, and rightly so. We all must account for our sins, Magdalene. I was afraid I would account for mine sooner than I thought. Those were the hardest years of my life. I repented and prayed to God to absolve me. But the Lord always provides, even in the darkest days. The Abbey's destruction gave us a second chance. I do wonder about the friction here, but it's not like... I don't think the people of the town hated everyone from the Abbey. There were certainly, like, visibly better relationships with some than others.
Yeah, but I'm fine with either of those top two, really. It's your choice.
It must be strange to leave that life after so long. Huh. Well, I will admit, it's been strange not being able to enter the convent. I miss the sisters terribly some days, but truthfully, it's been a relief not to be constrained by my vows.
Hell yeah, it has.
The Lord forgives more readily than man, Magdalene. Never think that you must remain in a place that causes you to sin, even if others think it godly. Interesting. Well, I'm glad you two are finally able to live life together. You both deserve it. Only by the grace of God are we in this life together. May it be many more years before we part. God willing. Anyway, Magdalene, I'll send that soup over to you shortly. Okay, so I know what we were saying just now, but like, because it means something to them, I feel like she must have a connection with these two, right? The rapport is so easy.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and choose that one. Really, if the option I would like there to be would be like, fuck yeah, soup. But that's not an option, so I guess we'll go God bless you both.
It's very similar. God bless you, Magda. God bless. Okay, well, I'm really glad to hear that that seems to have gone down without any, like, horrific violence or anything, which is a way that it might have. Okay, what's going on over here? What's the deal with this? We don't really get to talk to them. Okay, fine.
She's just keeping close to the vest. She doesn't want anyone finding out about her murders.
She's sitting right in the middle of town with an eye on every road. Just waiting.
I love how we're just not talking to Otts at all. That's
no,
great.
Fuck odds. Hello, Mr. Struckerin. How's Klaus? And Enders and I have been terribly worried. Dad's spirits are high, but he still gets headaches and spells of dizziness. Well, if there's anything we can help you with, let us know. Endris is always ready to provide. He and Klaus have been friends for a long time.
Bottom one.
Yeah, it's information. It seems like a really weird time to change the subject in this way, but if you don't mind, you weren't born in Tassing, am I right? No, I am originally from Innsbruck.
Oh, it's her.
And how... Ah, that's right. I remember now. And how did you arrive here? The twists of Providence are sudden and unpredictable. And the twists of Andreas Mahler even more so. I was but a young girl selling all manner of wares on the market, pots and the like. And one day this man appears to the stall, all jitters and nerves, stammering over his words, but charming in a way. And we spoke at length. I was intrigued and soon enamored, as if a candle had been lit. Endris is a man of talent and means, after all, blessed with a kind soul. And how did it feel to leave home for someone, somewhere far away, uprooting yourself from the life you had? Well, frightening, to be sure, leaving Innsbruck, my friends and family behind. But it was exciting as well, going off to find new opportunities and build a new life. But there wasn't much I had to look forward to in Innsbruck. Few prospects for a poor girl. I couldn't see myself sitting at the market continuing to sell odds and ends. Sometimes there are risks we just have to take. I mean, Magdalene definitely has her head in escape. Well, that's very inspiring, Resi. I'm glad you found happiness here. Well, we all struggle in this world, but the moments of joy outweigh the bad. That's how God has set the world, his benevolence guiding us through it all. I feel I've been blessed, and it's not been all bad for Endris either. I assist him with the bookkeeping side of the smithy, and other things.
I like the emphasis there. That was very good.
We all know what she was talking about. There's a lot of hammering needs to get done is all. Anyway, thank you for telling me about your past. Oh, it's nothing, Magdalene. I hope it has provided you with some encouragement. Don't forget, you're important as well, and deserve to live your life. All right. I have to assist Endris with a few things. Be well, Magdalene. Until later, Therese. Ah, okay.
Okay.
Interesting. Would not have been my guess.
No.
All right. Well, I know we're taking it really slow, and probably we're going to continue taking it really slow because we kind of need to reset our whole understanding of the town, right? But I think this is maybe a good place to call it before we start in on another screen worth of people. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. There's still a lot to do. But if we don't get our informational grounding before we start doing it, I'm worried that we're going to make some kind of terrible mistake. And I don't know, I just have this vague feeling that somebody's life is going to end up on the line. So,
Yeah, we want to have all the information we can so we can finally get Ursula for her crimes.
It's not going to be easy.
No, it's not.
So when you come back next time, we will continue to surreptitiously probe the town for signs of her wrongdoing. And we'll see you then.
Bye.